5:58 in the morning. Deck 9 is silent. A housekeeping cart sits, parked against the wall, wheels locked, stacked with folded towels and small white bottles. Down the corridor, door after door carries the same small sign, "Do not disturb." 41 of them on this hallway alone, hung the night before and never taken down. Rosa de Mayuga walks the length of it. Black shoes, quiet, on carpet. 37 years old, sturdy build, black hair pulled tight. Her radio is clipped to her hip, silent for now. She has 18 cabins on this hallway, and 82 more, waiting on 2 other decks. Checkout is 6 hours away. Right now, nothing on this floor is supposed to be moving. Her gloves stay folded in her breast pocket. Too early to need them. She checks the cart inventory by hand, counting bottles, counting towels, the way she does every morning at this hour. Near the end of the hall, one door sits open 2 inches. No sign hangs on the handle. No sound comes from inside. Rosa stops walking. 6:15. Rosa badges into the crew corridor, 3 decks below the guest cabins, and signs her name on a clipboard bolted to the wall. A supervisor hands her a printed sheet. 20 cabins, deck 9, bow to midship. 6 are checkout cabins. 14 still have guests asleep behind them. She reads the notes column first. Late arrival at 9,142. Extra towels, 9,150. No allergy flags today. She folds the sheet twice and slides it into her breast pocket next to the gloves. She walks to a narrow bank of metal lockers, finds hers by the dent in the door, and works the combination without looking at it. The door swings open. Taped inside, edge to edge, are dozens of handwritten notes, some yellowed, some still creased from an envelope opened yesterday. She has kept every one guest's ever left her. Some are 2 lines on hotel stationery. One, taped near the hinge, is 4 pages long, from a honeymoon couple in 2019. She doesn't read them now. There isn't time. She just checks that the tape has held through last night's rough water, then reaches for her radio on the shelf. 20 doors are waiting, and the first checkout is due to be cleared by 9. Rosa clips the radio to her hip and swings the locker shut. 7:05. Cabin 9021 hangs a "Do Not Disturb" sign on its handle, same as half the corridor. Rosa checks it against her sheet anyway. Habit. Some signs mean sleeping guests. Some mean something else entirely. She knocks twice, waits, lets herself in. No one inside. The bed is already made, corners squared, towels folded into rough loaf shapes on the dresser. Someone beat her to it. A room like this saves her 10 minutes. No stripping sheets, no scrubbing a bathroom that was barely used. 10 minutes doesn't sound like much until she's on cabin 14 with none to spare. She still wipes the counters, restocks the coffee pods, checks under the bed for stray socks. Fast isn't the same as skipped. Then she sees the mirror. Taped to the glass, an index card. Firm pillows only. Ice bucket by 6 p.m., not before. No mints on the pillow. The guest is diabetic. Small print, 4 lines, exact. Repeat cruisers do this. People who've sailed enough times to know what they want, and enough stewards to know most, won't ask twice. A card like this buys them a better cabin experience than any upgrade fee could. Rosa photographs it with her radio's clipped-on scanner, logs the preferences to the file for cabin 9021. Next steward, next cruise, same card, same answers. No guesswork. She peels a corner of the tape back to lay it flat before dusting under it. Blue ballpoint, all capitals, pressed hard enough to dent the card, not the handwriting on file from the cruise line. Whoever wrote it wasn't booking this room. Rosa tapes it back exactly where it was and moves on to cabin 9023. At cabin 9142, Rosa raises her hand to knock, then stops. Her handheld shows a green flag. Towels requested through the ship's app at 7:58 a.m. No one home. No knock needed. Guests who tap a request into the app instead of calling the front desk save her a wasted trip almost every time. Fewer knocks. Fewer awkward doors opened on someone half-dressed. She leaves fresh towels, logs it, moves on. 2 doors down, a woman in a sun hat herds 2 kids toward the pool deck, flip-flops slapping the floor. Behind her, the cabin door swings open. Rosa steps inside at 8:14. The floor is clear. Every action figure, every puzzle piece, every crayon has been swept into one plastic bin by the window. Nothing to step over, nothing to fish out from under the bed. She runs the vacuum in 3 long strokes instead of 10. No stopping to move a toy truck. No untangling a jump rope from the brush head. 90 seconds, and the carpet is done. She straightens the bin's lid, wipes the porthole glass, and checks it off her sheet. Cabin 9146, finished at 8:19, faster than any adult-only room she's touched all morning. She pulls her cart forward to the next door, wheels catching on the carpet seam. Outside, it sits a single shoe, just one. No sign of its match anywhere in the corridor. 9:20. Rosa knocks twice at cabin 9142, calls out, waits 3 seconds, and lets herself in. Bed made by the guests. Curtains open. Nothing thrown on the floor. She heads straight for the wall panel by the closet. The thermostat reads 68 degrees. That is exactly where the overnight team left it at 10 last night. Nobody bumped it up. Nobody bumped it down. It sounds small. It is not. A guest who fiddles with the AC all night usually calls the front desk by morning, and the front desk calls housekeeping. That call means a reset trip. Someone climbs 3 decks, resets the unit, apologizes, and loses 10 minutes that were already spoken for. Rosa checks her radio, clipped to her hip. No complaint logged against 9142. No ticket, just a quiet room at the temperature it was left at. She straps fresh linen corners on the bed anyway, wipes the mirror, and moves on. 20 minutes saved on paper. 20 minutes she will spend somewhere harder down the hall. Outside 9142, she clips her master key back onto her belt. Her radio crackles once. Then again, a burst of static clearing into a voice. It asks for cabin 9161. It uses a name Rosa has never heard on this ship before. By 10:15, the ship is tied to the dock. A horn sounds twice over the intercom. Within 20 minutes, the halls that were full of rolling suitcases and wet swimsuits go quiet. Rosa stands at the end of deck 9 and counts 3 open doors where there were none an hour ago. Port days mean most guests leave the ship for 6, 7, 8 hours at a stretch. For a steward, this is the real work window. No knocking. No guests stepping around a vacuum cord. Just the room, the cart, and the clock. Rosa pulls her cart into 9151 and props the door wide with the rubber stop. She strips the duvet to the mattress, flips it, and starts on the corners. The daily service never reaches behind the headboard, under the nightstand, inside the closet track. She works fast because the window is short. 2 hours. Maybe less if the tender boats fill early. She moves through 4 cabins back to back, no radio call between them. No line at the door. In 9155 she runs a cloth along the air vent, and it comes back gray. She wipes the vent twice more, then moves to the bathroom drain, the one spot guests never think to mention and never see cleaned. At 11:40 she reaches 9163, second to last on her port day list. The handle doesn't turn. She checks her master key against the lock light. Still red. She knocks once, out of habit, though the manifest says this cabin's guests left for shore at 9. She tries the key again. The bolt holds. Someone has thrown the interior double lock, the one that can only be set from inside the room. Rosa steps back and looks at the number on the door. 11:40. Rosa knocks twice on 9146, calls out housekeeping, and steps in to restock towels. A guest in a robe meets her at the door before she can reach the rack. The guest folds a bill and presses it into her hand. Second day of a 7-night cruise. No note, no name, just paper folded twice. Stewards learn to read this. A tip on day 1 or 2, before anything has been earned yet, is a bet. The guest is paying forward, hoping the room stays this good. Rosa has seen the pattern hold. Cabins that tip early tend to ask for less, complain less, and get remembered first on a 16-room round. She tucks the bill into her apron pocket without looking at it and moves 2 doors down to 9150. The balcony door here is shut, latched, curtain drawn against the glass. A closed balcony door before cleaning means something specific to her. No sand tracked across the carpet. No salt film on the glass. No second pass with the vacuum. She strips the bed, wipes the counter, and is out in 6 minutes flat. Down the hall, 9146's door is already closing behind the guest who tipped her. Rosa reaches the service stairwell before she checks her pocket. The bill is still folded, exactly as it was handed to her. She has not looked at the denomination once. 1 o'clock. The crew mess on deck 2 smells like soy sauce and bleach. Rosa sets her tray down between 2 other stewards. 15 minutes on the clock before the afternoon rounds start. Rice, grilled fish, a wedge of melon. She hasn't touched any of it yet. Across the table, a steward from the deck above is talking fast, fork still in his hand. He says the new policy went live this year. Cash agaze. Hands you directly, stays yours now. It doesn't go into the shared pool split across the whole housekeeping team anymore. Rosa thinks of the folded bill from cabin 9142, still in her breast pocket since 1140. Under the old rule, it would have been split 9 ways by Friday. Under this one, it stays exactly where it landed. She hasn't decided yet whether that changes anything about how she works the rest of this contract. The steward across the table finishes his rice in 4 bites and checks his watch. Lunch on this ship runs on the same clock as everything else. 15 minutes. No extensions. Her radio clicks once against her hip. A cabin number, faint through static, then silence again. She doesn't reach for it yet. 1 o'clock and 4 minutes. Rosa's fork sits across the rim of the tray. The fish has gone cold, the rice untouched, the melon still whole. 2:30. Rosa pulls up her tablet outside cabin 9204, ready to log turn-down service like she has for 11 years. The screen shows a different word this time. Declined. Since the 2026 season, turn down is opt-in through the cruise app. Guests toggle it themselves before dinner. No toggle, no visit, no chocolate on the pillow. She checks the next door on her list. Declined. And the next. By the 4th cabin, a pattern is forming that her supervisor mentioned once in passing, and she never quite believed. Out of 16 cabins on her afternoon round, only 7 still want the service. 9 have opted out without ever speaking to her. She stands in the empty stretch of hallway, tablet still lit in her hand, running the math housekeeping trained her to run without thinking. 9 skipped turndowns. Roughly 4 minutes each once you count the walk, the knock, the linen check. That is close to 40 minutes handed back to her, mid-shift, for nothing she had to ask for. 40 minutes doesn't sound like much until you've worked a 14-hour rotation on a ship with no doors that lock behind you for good. She scrolls back through the list one more time, half expecting the declines to reverse themselves. They don't. 9 cabins sit there, untouched, waiting for nothing. 4 o'clock. Deck 9, cabin 9142. Rosa lifts her hand and raps 3 times on the door, knuckles first, then steps back half a pace and waits. Nobody teaches this in orientation. It gets past steward to steward, cabin to cabin, until it becomes instinct. 3 knocks, 5 seconds, never less. 5 seconds is long enough for a guest to grab a towel. Silence long enough that Rosa can hear a shower still running, footsteps still moving inside. She counts it out of habit now, not on her fingers, just a rhythm in her chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she reaches for the MasterCard. Today, the count runs out half a second early. The door pulls open from the inside before her hand touches the lock. The man is barely dressed, one arm still through a shirt sleeve, hair wet. He freezes, so does she. This is the exact scenario the 3 knocks exist to prevent. Most of the time, it works. Today, the timing was off by less than a heartbeat. Rosa looks down at the cart, at the folded towels, anywhere but at him. "I'm so sorry," he says, reaching for the door. "I thought I had." 5:30. Rosa checks her handheld against the door panel of 8021. A service request logged 20 minutes ago. She knocks anyway, out of habit 3 times, waits. No answer. She lets herself in. The bed is untouched, curtains open, the little tablet on the nightstand glowing with a single line. Request canceled, 6:11 p.m. Canceled by guest. Under the new system, guests can call for service or call it off with 1 tap. No radio call to housekeeping. No note left for Rosa. The room simply resets itself, and she never learns why. She backs out, pulls the door shut, moves on. 2 doors down. 8025 is on her list too. This one she was never called to at all. Inside, the bed is made, towels already folded into swans from the morning pass. And on the pillow, something Rosa almost never sees this early in a cruise. A comment card, filled out, unasked. Rosa picks it up, 5 stars circled, then circled again. Harder, like the guest wanted the ink to prove something. Out of hundreds of rooms this week, this is the first card anyone has volunteered. A filled comment card left behind. No prompting, no app reminder, is the rarest thing that lands on a steward's cart. Most feedback now comes typed into a phone, days later. Far from the room, Rosa turns the card over, looking for a name to thank. There isn't one. She sets it face down on her cart, name blank, and keeps walking her list. 7 o'clock. Dinner seating has pulled 2,000 passengers into the dining rooms, and deck 9 empties out behind them. The carts stop rattling. The vacuums go quiet. For the first time since noon, the corridor belongs to Rosa alone. Her list started with 31 cabins this morning. The new opt-in turn-down cut it to 20. Door 9142 is the last name on the sheet, the 20th door of her day, and her cart is down to 4 towels and half a bar of soap. She raps twice, waits the full 5 seconds the new policy asks for, and lets herself in with the master key. The room is empty. Balcony door locked. Suitcase zipped and standing by the closet, ready for tomorrow's disembarkation. She works fast now, out of habit more than need. Fresh sheet corners, tightened to hospital angles. 2 mints instead of 1, since this cabin never asked for turn-down service all week and she likes to guess why. She circles to the far side of the bed to square the pillows, and stops. Something is sitting on the near pillow that was not there this morning, folded into a small deliberate square, catching the last of the balcony light. Not a towel animal, not a comment card. It is paper, creased into thirds like a letter, sitting exactly in the center of the pillow, where a mint would normally go. Rosa glances at the door, then back at the bed. 20 cabins down, 1 left to close out. She reaches for it.